This woman has generated $1 million from Amazon FBA without selling a single physical product of her own. Her name is Cielo, and in this video, you are going to learn how to dramatically increase your Amazon FBA sales and diversify your income streams. Or if you have never sold a single thing on Amazon, why creating a blog might be a more lucrative and more passive income opportunity than selling on Amazon. This is the most underrated, underspoken topic in the Amazon FBA community, so relax, get your notebook, and let's get to it. Welcome, Cielo. We're so excited to have you here on our channel. And tell us a little bit about yourself. I just introduced you, but why don't you tell our audience how you came to actually sell so many products on Amazon without even having a product?
I know, right? Call it faith. Hi guys, my name is Cielo. I am a former TV journalist turned online media entrepreneur. I run a very successful 7-figure blog, and I was able to sell a lot in Amazon because I am part of the Associates program. So one of the ways that we monetized the content on our website, it's by putting affiliate links from Amazon directly. And since we have a very high readership, it ranges from about 500K to 1 million, depending on the month, that just organically brought huge sales to us.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love to be able to talk about this because I think people's mentality are just like so stuck on one thing. So if it's like make money with Amazon, it needs to be finding a product, sourcing from Alibaba, and like doing like that exact step-by-step process. And there's so many other ways to make money with Amazon. Like you partner with someone else, you create listings for people, and you manage and all that. And there's different ways to scale your business on Amazon, which is why I'm super excited to see your presentation today, to share with everyone how they can actually start investing in this side of blogging and content to promote maybe their own Amazon products or even other people's Amazon's products, just like you did.
Hi, so yeah, I basically said my name is Cielo, for anyone who doesn't know, an online media expert storyteller. I've been featured all over the TV and then print. I contribute a lot in television. I speak a lot about social trends and also about SEO, which is search engine optimization, about this space and where it's going, because Google is one of the largest search engines in the world. A fun fact about me, I was a former TV journalist. I used to work in New York City for the Today Show. I was an assistant for Lester Hall, for a guy named Lester Hall. He's really famous, and he now he's the anchor for Nightly News. He's an incredible guy. And then I worked at CNN. I was a producer. I was an online media journalist. It was really, really fun. And that's really one of my biggest passions. It's storytelling. That's how I developed my blog. Very few people know that I started my blog in a couch. So I quit my job in 2017. I was broke for almost 2 years. Very few people know this. Now I have a 7-figure business, but back then I was struggling. And the thing is that I had created Blend as a grassroots journalism project. People don't know this. It really was a grassroots journalism project. I had been mentoring students at Columbia University just about the state of media. I was working at CNN. So people were like, wow, you're so young. Why don't you come to the J School, kind of provide advice to students about what it takes to work in corporate media, because I had worked before that at the Today Show. Basically, after graduation, I landed into this prestigious program. It's called the Page Program, which is like a 12-month intense pilot program to work at NBC News. So I found myself working at the Today Show, SNL, the Today Show with Jimmy Fallon, like really intense rotations, like across all these different platforms and just TV shows at NBC. And then CNN came knocking my door, and that's how really my journalistic career started, because I'm so passionate about storytelling. So we got a grant, an amazing donor gave us 2K, and that's how we started the website. I was still working at CNN. I was still, working my full-time job, but in 2018, one of the stories went viral. And then we made, I think, our first $100 from the website because we were monetizing with Google AdSense. And I really didn't know how the publishing world worked. I was like, wait, what? You can
Right.
actually make money from this? So I took a leap of faith. I was very passionate about human stories, about providing a voice to young people. And I decided to quit my job and started this from zero. And obviously struggle for the first years because I really did not understand how this space worked. And once I did, my life changed. Yeah.
That's awesome. So hopefully you tell us how to skip those 2 years
Oh yeah.
and go straight to the success.
Yeah, it is a little bit about like Blend. We reached about, like I said, 1 million readers per month. It's one of the fastest growing publications among Gen Z in America. We expanded now into marketing agency, worked over 50 plus brands. I was nominated to Forbes 30 under 30 this year, so that was really cool. And then we just grow Lover Media. So that's like really, really cool. And this is obviously what I help my clients now. I help them, entrepreneurs in general, how to build a 6-figure blog that can increase specifically for Amazon sellers or Amazon sales and generate new streams of income. My first question would be, right, what is SEO? Because people always have these different descriptions and some people don't really understand it. And I always like to simplify things for people. SEO is, first of all, yes, it stands for standard engine optimization, which to me is like, what? That doesn't tell me anything. It's still like, yeah, like foreign language, right? Like I don't know what that means. And it's really just a set of guidelines, okay, to make Google ranked or content rank high on the Google algorithm. That's it. That's pretty much it. It's a set of guidelines, usually in-page through research, in order to make content ranked really high on Google. And you obviously want that to happen because the higher you rank in Google, the more traffic you get. Now, what is SEO content marketing? It's a process by which a specific content is created with the purpose of making it ranking high, right? This whole concept. And then obviously what you want is to drive your target audience to your website. And that's why they call it blogging. Some people call it like having a publication, right? It's usually through a blog or a publication. And just so you know the difference, a blog is usually just one person running the website, and a publication is when you have a team of writers running the whole website. I didn't know that. Yeah, because a lot of people get confused.
Yes, I do think, I mean, SEO is talked about a lot within like Amazon space as well, because we do need to optimize our listings for the search engine that is Amazon, because people are searching. So it's great. I'm thinking that there will be a lot of overlap, which I think is great for you to be able to have this sets of skills with Amazon and what someone has already been doing, like selling their own products, and how to apply that with blog. And definitely SEO, I can see it's like key to be found, especially on Google, because I mean, so many millions of people use it. So how do you actually get in front of people's eyes?
Yeah, it's generally, it comes down to content, and we're gonna go through the 5-step process that I have. But I want to be clear about one thing. This is ranking organically, okay? Because anyone can make a campaign on Google Ads and have your content on the first page if you're paying for it, right? So not to me, like I think we had this conversation how I feel about anything paid. Anything paid is, even if you get leads, they're not warm leads, they're cold leads coming to you. And that potential is going to be really hard to convert into like loyal fans and customers, okay? What we want to do, if you're organically.
I totally agree. If you're not spiking interest organically for a piece of content or for a product, what makes you think that you paying for an ad, you're going to get all these crazy ads? I mean, I do think at least on the Amazon side, the paid ads are important to scale, but it would only, you know, like Sumner likes to say, it only like amplifies what your product is organically. If it's not good, it's not going to do well. So I totally agree with that. Like organic is key.
Yeah, we were talking, right? So I think there's so many like similarities, but like the way Amazon like ranking works with like Google ranking. Yes, absolutely. So so the first, like, this is basically a step-by-step process to build a 6-figure blog. The first one is choosing a niche. I mean, anyone, okay, with like $5 in your pocket can go pay Bluehost, which is like one of the cheapest hostings out there, and open and have like a website up and running in 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
everyone can do that, and everyone can, I don't know, create something, a piece of content about something they're passionate on, and put it out there, right, for the world to see. But is that going to translate to actually building a six-figure blog? Absolutely no. And that's what I want people to realize, kind of like Amazon, right? It's not just putting it and hoping that someone's going to buy it. There's a whole strategy behind that. So for SEO, the first step is probably, and I put it right here, this is 50% of success factor if you really want to build a profitable blog, is choosing the right niche. I've worked with so many people in the past year, and I have to tell you, 50% of them they've created content, invested so much money and resources and energy on a blog that it was never going to be able to rank for them. Why? Because they had completely done the SEO research wrong. Like, they did not pick a niche where there's enough space to compete, there's enough space to monetize and make money, because ultimately you want to make money, right? So step one.
But I do have a question. Oh, okay. Maybe you do have, like, how would you define niche, and like how broad or how specific should people be going? Like, there's like pets category. Now there's like dog lovers. There is Labrador lovers. There's like, you can go super specific. So how specific do you think people should go to have like a successful, I don't know, I guess, way to monetize that niche?
Rank, yeah, absolutely. So just to answer your first question, is like, a niche is just a specific subject, like an overall theme that your blog will focus on. That's it. Okay. It's just the focus of your overall blog. And now, choosing the right niche, to answer your second question, it really depends. And it's all based on data. Okay. I've seen niches, and I've seen people having a niche around pets doing really, really well. But I've also seen another website about just talking about Shih Tzus, right, which is a breed of dog, and they're doing extremely, extremely well. So here is not how broad. Obviously, there is this consensus in the industry. You want to make sure that you niche down, meaning that you start with one thing and then you can little by little expand on that. Yes, but it really depends, because I've also seen different topics on very, very specific topics that are not going to do well either, because it's too hard to compete for. You know what I mean?
Based on data. I understand.
It is just based on data. But usually, I'm not saying, like, probably 80% of the time, the more you niche down, the better. And obviously, like I said, choosing the right niche will determine 50% of your success as a blogger. If you choose the wrong niche,
and the data we're talking about, it's like audience size, search volume. That's what you mean, like, like your domain authority for your website, all of that combined, correct?
Yeah. So here I have a couple of guidelines to choose a good niche. The first one is really identifying potential industries that you'd be interested in pursuing. So this is the thing, right? If you're creating a blog and you're going to spend your time in, obviously, like, let's say you already have an Amazon business, right? You have to first think, what industry I'm trying to tap into, right? Like, let's say you're a very successful Amazon seller, and you're selling like yoga mats. So maybe you want to tap into the wellness space, right? Because you have so much like leverage already, and you're doing so great in that industry, and that can translate into having becoming like to-go person for anything relating to wellness, right? Whatever it is like, you really need to identify potential industries you'd be interested in pursuing. And then second, for each topic you're interested in, you got to do in-depth research. And by in-depth research, I'm talking about looking at domain authorities of the niche, looking at EAT content. I'm going to explain what EAT content is in a couple of minutes, but it comes down is, are you credible enough, right, to be able to be talking about those topics? Are these websites, are they being monetized like by media buying and ad threat, which I'm actually also going to talk about. They're like the premium networks that every blogger wants to be part of, because that's how you make a lot of money. And you really need to do back-end research. I would say this: create a spreadsheet with key info of each of these websites, DA, backlinks, articles on the website, and you really need to analyze, compare, and contrast. I mean, people that really do this well probably look at top 50, 100 websites of the desired niche, you know, for each category, for each subtopic, and that's how they do the research. Yeah, it could be a little bit overwhelming. Through, like, now I own an agency. We recently acquired an artificial intelligence tool, which has simplified our job by probably 60% of our time, because most of the time we would spend just trying to find the right niche, right? Because this is so important to get it right, because if you don't get it right, then you're never going to be able to have content that is going to rank on Google. But it's possible. I mean, if you do the research, if you look at all these different specific features, and you start doing the back end research and then compare and contrast, you will be able to find a lucrative one. Yeah. And then a couple of things too. It's like an ideal niche has a 3 to 5 competitors with a DA less than 40, ranking on the first page of Google. So that's
the DA is domain authority.
Yes. Okay. Let me just also, sorry, I assume people already know this. Domain authority, guys, is basically how Google ranks websites on the algorithm, right? It goes all the way from 0 to 100. So when you think about like big publications like the New York Times and I don't know, like New Yorker, Political, these are websites that are basically major publications in the US. So they tend to have a really high domain authority, anything from 70 to 100. Okay, I would never look at these websites as competitors, because they're beyond competitors. These are people that are
very well established.
Well established, right? So you want to be looking at websites with domain authority like less than 40 that are ranking on the first page of Google. That's kind of the first indicator. Maybe this potential niche could work for me, right? So yeah.
And how can people find out what is the domain authority score? Like, is there a tool that you use, or can you just Google it, like domain authority of this website?
With you guys. So let me just go to Google. And sorry, I have like a lot of windows open because it's just me. I love Windows.
Most, I have to say, most entrepreneurs do. Really, or is it just us? I need to feel better about that.
I think we all do. So this is tool. Ahrefs is one of like the best keyword research tools out there. And they're probably the most accurate. Moz has one too, which is another keyword research tool, but I personally like Ahrefs a lot. Just Google Ahrefs domain authority. It will be able to give you this link, website authority checkered. So it's great. So you just, let's say, okay, I wanna see the domain authority of the New York Times, right? So you will Google that and get the link of the New York Times. And then you will just copy and paste. And then you will be able to check the authority. You see, it's a 94. It's extremely high.
Nice. And you don't even need to create an account. It's completely free.
It's free. You don't need it.
Nice. Okay.
Ahrefs,
so we probably don't want to compete with New York Times.
No, ever. No, you never want to compete with New York Times. Ahrefs, it's really also expensive. So we'll talk more about that. But obviously, just use their free tools. Their free tools are amazing. Like this one, it's great. And it's free. So why not, right?
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Awesome.
And then these are also, like I said, specific guidelines. So obviously, identifying a niche that has 3 to 5 competitors with a DA less than 40, ranking on the first page of Google. Second, making sure that all websites are monetized by AdDrive or Mediavine. Now, this is a hard one, and I'm not gonna lie, okay? Because first of all, you might be wondering, what is AdDrive or Mediavine? In the blogging world, there are 2 premium networks that every blogger, it's kind of the dream of the blogger to be able to get into one of these amazing premium ad networks. Why? Because once you get in, you start making real money, which is what you want with your blog. Mediavine has like the minimum requirement to apply is 60 page views, 60,000 page views, I'm sorry. And then AdThrive, the minimum requirement is 100,000 page views. AdThrive specifically only accepts 5% of all the applications, so it's really, really hard to get in. But if you follow all this protocol that I'm talking about and you build a great niche, then your chances increase. So yeah, and then second, 40% of the content is making sure that it's ranking on the first page of Google. That's another indicator that the niche is good. Third one is the content, the website is not too heavy. Because think about it, right? Okay, you find a very good website that has over 1 million readers per month, but then you see that they have, I don't know, 3,000 pieces. That's a lot of content, right? That's probably the reason why they're ranking so high. And they have so much traffic. So you want to find a well-balanced niche that, yes, it has good content and it's ranking high, has a lot of traffic, and it's not too heavy either, right? And obviously the expertise not too high, because if, like, think about it. Think about all the mental health websites on the first page of Google. None of them are from bloggers. They're all from governmental or official pages, right? From government.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because it's such a delicate topic. No one can talk about mental health. You need to have degrees, you need to have expertise, you need to have PhD probably. So there's specific topics that you will never be able to rank for, and you just have to be really, really aware of that.
That's awesome. Okay, super helpful. I'm really thankful that you give out such a good step-by-step step process for how to identify these niches. Love it.
So step number 2, after you have identified your niche, is you have to create a solid SEO content strategy for at least 6 months. This is honestly probably the second reason why 90% of people fail to build a very lucrative blog, because they don't have a strategy around it, right? Think about it. If you write a piece of content and you publish, whenever you have time, you're just draining yourself and you don't have any plan. And if you don't have any plan, it just leads to stress, and then you quit, right? Because you're not seeing results. It specifically takes about 8 to 12 months to rank on the algorithm. It's not overnight. So if you don't have a strategy and you kind of have a timeline to assess how your content is doing, that it's going to be so easy to give up because you're not seeing results. So this is super, super important. One of the things in the industry, what's it called? Neil Patel, which is one of like the top guys when it comes to SEO, and then a couple of other people in this space recently did a case study that it takes about 80 to 100 pieces of content to get to 25K to 50,000 readers per month. But this obviously is just a really, really rough estimate, and it depends on the niche, okay?
And the content.
Yes, and the content. The first one is obviously you gotta do in-depth, once you've identified your niche, you gotta do the in-depth keyword research, back-end research to find out what keywords you're gonna be able to rank for, right? Keyword equals to one piece of content. That's the way you see it. And then 2, make sure that for each keyword that you've chosen, you also have a strategy to outrank your competitors. I think that's very, very important, more than the keyword, right? Okay, let's say you've identified a niche and you now have, okay, I think this keyword's getting a lot of traffic, so potentially I'm going to be able to go create content. Well, you need to know how you're going to outrank. What is it about your piece of content that is going to make it different or better than your competitors that are already there? Because the last thing you want to do is copy and paste, okay? You will get banned. It's copyright, like you will get in trouble for that, and Google will never give you traffic if you do that.
Yeah. That very similar with Amazon products. So I'm loving the similarity.
Yeah, it's super similar, I think. But it's very, very important to have a strategy around it. And obviously, number 3, it's like just create a spreadsheet, keep adding content until you get at least to 60 keywords, right? And by keywords, I'm like, you're absolutely sure that you're going to use them. You've assessed your competitors. You have a strategy how to rank them, especially if you're working with agencies, because a lot of bloggers work with agencies. They just want to outsource the writing. So even if you work with them, right, you have to make sure to give a specific instructions of the type of content you want them to produce to you. Because at the end of the day, this is your blog, this is your baby, you could call it, right? It's your asset, and it will depend
Yeah.
on you to make it the best possible. So that's very, very important. Yeah.
That's awesome. And what tool do you recommend, like maybe a free or less expensive tool that people can use for keyword research?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. I've actually given a couple of examples and I had in this presentation, but I'm
Okay.
going to be honest. Keyword tools are great, but they just give you an estimate. Nothing is 100% accurate. Okay. So yes, I am 50% about using tools and 50% not. It really depends on the scenario. If you're starting out, yes, you can use key search. It's $12 a month, or I think $10. I don't know, like it might be $12, but it's just like a tool that is super cheap that you can be able to look at keywords. Then you have over suggest, which is like created by Neil Patel, and that one is really good. And then you have a more expensive option, Ahrefs or SEMrush, which is like $100 per month. All of these tools, whether you use key search or over suggest, are great. But to be honest, and this is just how I do keyword research for my clients and for the websites, I'm, by the way, about to launch 3 websites apart from my main one, just because I love to build blogs. And I looked at Google Trends. I looked at Google related searches, right? I do back-end research. So it's more than just using keyword tools.
I
just
understand.
that,
Yeah.
you know, it's great, but it's not like, it's just kind of like half of the equation. You have to look at everything, right? Like from a microscopic level to make an assessment of what would be a good keywords. That's just one thing to pay in mind. Yeah. So yeah, so step number 3 is, after you've done your content strategy, after you've chosen your profitable niche, then it's picking your domain. Okay. And your domain really needs to be an extension of your brand. This is key. This is very important. Like, let's say you've decided that you're going to have a website about puppies, right? I mean, who doesn't love puppies? They're so cute. And you got to make sure that basically your domain has that keyword in there, because that automatically gives you credibility. It tells Google this website is going to be about puppies, you know.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, I've seen so many websites with like really random names and they're like, what? Okay. Like, for example, me, like a Blend TW is a great name, but it's not, like, you wouldn't think from the title that it's about college life, right?
Yeah.
But it worked for me and we're doing really well. But if I would go back, you know, I would not do that, like specifically now knowing how niches work. And it's just more powerful if you can just focus on one keyword and use that for your domain. And I also really highly discourage you to make because I've seen so many websites that they have like a blog section, and that's like if they're an e-commerce business, right? They have a blog section and that's where they put all their content. I would not do that. No, because you confuse Amazon. Amazon is confused. Is this like an FBA business, an Amazon business, or is this like a blog? You want to make sure that you create a complete different domain, and then you can link it to your e-commerce business, but it should be a completely different asset. Okay. Don't ever combine it or put it like a subcategory, because that's just not going to help you when it comes to telling Google that you've created this new asset and it's a very specific niche. So I highly discourage you to do that.
Okay, great advice.
Simple. You just gotta keep it simple. You want people to remember your website, so just use a simple, catchy name that is easy to remember. Don't overthink it. Okay, don't.
Okay,
go for one.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, I mean, true.
Yeah.
Or if you have an audience, right? If you're writing Amazon, you have an audience, and then maybe you can have 3 names and then kind of like create a poll and see what your audience wants, right? And then
or maybe use whatever the new trend that it is right now, the AI, that you can talk to it and will like create options for you. There's so many ways.
Yeah. Or you create, whatever it is that you want, but just keep it simple. Don't go crazy with that. And then step 4, and this is also very important. You just gotta make sure that you're picking the right elements for your website, from theme, from like hosting site. I'll make sure to give a couple links of the hosting sites that I recommend using people when they're just starting out. Like for example, right now, and this is something that I am that I have an issue with. I built my whole website, my primary website, on Elementor. Elementor is basically a WordPress, I want to say theme, but it definitely helps you like with the blocks for the content. Well, I didn't know that Elementor makes your website super slow. You know, like 5 years later, like I'm still with Elementor. This year, we definitely, because once you reach to the traffic to like, I think anything above like 200K per month in like visitors, that just starts slowing down. Like if you're at 100K, it's fine. Elementary, it's fine. But once you reach, which to be honest, I never thought that I would reach to more than half a million readers per month, but it happened, right? And now I find myself with other issues, like Elementor is slowing down my website. So I have to go and change my complete theme. And that is super expensive to do. And also it's a headache. I'm gonna have to do it. I don't have a choice, but
it's much better to start right.
Exactly.
When you scale.
Learn from my mistakes. You know, pay extra and get the right theme, get the right hosting site. I would say try to keep your blog simple and clean. Okay. People sometimes focus so much on their blogs. They wanted to make it luxurious, beautiful, blah, blah, blah. They put so much money into it. Reality is no one cares if it doesn't have traffic. Okay, what's the point of a beautiful website if you have 0 visitors? So that is your last of your concerns. Your concerns should be about creating good content. As long as you have your categories and it's easy to navigate, you know, like as long as you have a clean theme, you're gonna be fine. Specifically for hosting, I definitely, well, the first one is blogging platform, WordPress, Wix, Squarespace. Those are the ones that I use. I only recommend WordPress. It will make your life easier, especially if you don't have coding skills. Okay, and it will save you a lot of stress. So don't use Squarespace and don't use Wix. Okay, so hosting site, I highly recommend if you're just starting out and you are really on a budget, Bluehost. Okay, but if you can't afford $30 a month, I recommend you to go with Big Scoots because it's such an amazing hosting site. Okay, I still use Big Scoots. I have my private now BPA, which is like a private domain. I don't share with any other websites, and it's just so great. WPX is also a great hosting site, but obviously that one is it's a little bit more expensive, but these are amazing and I highly recommend them. Okay, and then third one is just make sure you choose a website theme that actually it's easy to navigate. I think the theme of your website has a lot to do with your niche. That's true. A lifestyle blog will look very different than a website that is talking about, like, I don't know, credit cards, right? In the financial niche.
Yeah.
So, but even then, like, you have to choose one that it's simple. Don't cover complicated things. People hate that. Also, do not use a free theme. Don't be that cheap, okay? There are multiple free themes out there, but I highly recommend you that you invest in a professional one. One of them is Cadence Pro. It's really good. Like I said, I'll send all the links to Ali so you guys have.
Awesome. Yes, we'll put it in the description below.
Yeah, and they're great. And then look at your competitors too. What are they using? Right? It's like, if the competitors are doing really well in your niche, are they using like really nice themes? Like, obviously you're not going to copy from them, but that can give you an inspiration of how your blog can look, right? I think it's just a matter of testing. And obviously here are the recommendations. Another theme that is good is Astra. I've never used it, but I've heard so many people saying great things about it. And when there's 10 bloggers saying the same thing, then you listen. You know, it's pretty good. Yes, so these are my recommendations. And yeah, so now I'm going to share my case study because this has just been my experience with SEO and kind of showing you how powerful it can be for any blog. Before I had a lot of people on my website, I was, like I said before, struggling, right, for almost 3 years. And the reason I was struggling because I did not understand how the publishing world works. I didn't know how SEO worked. I didn't know how to make content ranked for Google. Once I understood and I invested in my education and I hired people, taught people in the industry to teach me, that is when I understood the power of SEO. So over a 12-month period, we published 80 articles following all these guidelines that I've been telling you guys, right? All this step-by-step process. And we started seeing a lot of our content ranking on the first page of Google. Like, this is gift for athlete, that's a keyword, and then look at that, boom, right? Second option, or second on the first page of Google. And then obviously higher content that ranks on Google, like we said, it's more traffic. So look at this. This is, I think the results are staggering, right? Like all the way to July 2021. Like, think about it. These are all months that we were doing the work. We were pushing content and pushing content, right? But we started seeing results about 9 to 10 months in, right? So after 10 months of publishing content, that's when we started seeing the first articles really taking off and giving us traffic. So it just really spiked really fast, and then
that's amazing.
A lot of traffic.
And you can see, I consider that a really high percentage of returning visitors for a blog, because like as a blog reader, I just go for whatever is ranking high on Google. I don't necessarily go back to the same website just because of the website, but you can see that your niche is valuable to a lot of people because they would go back to it. There's a high percentage of returning visitors, so that's really good.
Yeah, so this is great because there's an indicator, like this is working, this niche, there is value that we're giving. And obviously once you see numbers like this is exactly how you build a 6 or 7 figure blog. And this is how SEO changed our business, right? Getting all this traffic, it took us from 10,000 readers per month to 10,000 readers per day, like overnight. It took us from like making pennies, okay? Because Google AdSense pays you almost nothing. And then a better one is Sesoic too. That's another ad network, which it's kindly not great, but not that bad. So we started monetizing and making like 1K. And then once we got into AdThrive, that is when we started seeing, whoa, tripling our income. So we started getting like $6,000 to $10,000 monthly just through ad networks. And this is passive income. When you join any ad networks, they have a whole team behind you. They do all the optimization in your blog. You don't have to do anything. It's amazing. And
they take a percentage of the earnings, but it's a no-brainer for sure.
No-brainer for sure. We started getting over $100,000, okay, in Amazon sales in a given month. This was last December, just in one given month, specifically you guys, right? Because this is directly for Amazon sellers. Imagine having a blog that you're making money to your listing, and then you're also making money as an affiliate. That is because if whoever is watching this doesn't know, you can actually create attribution links for your own product. So you can really do, if you don't have a product, you can sign up for Amazon Associates and you can get your affiliate links for whatever product you want. And you can still do that even when you have your own products. Do that for other products that are not yours. And for your own product, you can create attribution links. And there's a whole video here on the channel already talking about this. So I'll be sure to link it here and also in the description below for you to know how you can get even more money with your content, selling your own products. Yeah, I mean, I am not an Amazon seller. That's actually one of the reasons how we met with Ellie, is that I wanted to tap into the e-commerce space because I was making so much money to Amazon sellers, having any product. So so that to me, when I started seeing those numbers, I'm like, I think I should get into the e-commerce space, right? It also resulted in over $50,000 just through sponsor collaboration. Think about it. When you start ranking, when you have your content ranking on Google, okay, really high, brands start to notice and they want to work with you. I work with Manscaped. I work with iPhone Women. The past 2 years, I've worked with over 50 brands. And some of these collaborations have been very lucrative. They not only give you free products, they give you a very big fat check if you do create like a sponsor content for them. So that's another way to monetize, right? It's like you're writing,
Yeah.
but they're paying you to write. So why not? And obviously 10 to $20,000 in affiliate marketing, right? We're just talking about one thing is making sales, which is incredible, that like having been an Amazon seller will increase your sales, but then you're also making affiliate commission on top of that. So that is just another stream of income right there. And it can be very lucrative for you. Yeah, so here it is. Like this is last December. This was like basically how many sales we made on that given month. That was crazy. That's when I started noticing.
That's crazy. In 1 month, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, I should probably get into Amazon. I'm like, I want, get into Amazon. Like, when is this happening? Yeah, so if you're an Amazon seller, you definitely should. This is definitely good, right? If you start monetizing.
So these earnings are just from your Amazon Associates account. This is not your own product. These are other products that you're promoting through your content, and you're getting commission, which the commissions are not even that high per click, like per product that you do, but the traffic is what really like multiplies. Yeah. So that's amazing. Good job.
It's pretty crazy to think about how affiliate marketing, especially if you have such a big audience. And I want to say something to Amazon sellers. I'm going to be super honest. I get about 30 to 40 emails every day, and half of them, I don't read them, from Amazon sellers and trying to work with us, right? Hey, I'll give you $300 if you add this link to my listing. And I will tell you, publishers are very, very picky when it comes to that, because we get so many requests and you gotta give it something different. Like to me, like sometimes we delete those messages, and I'm just being super honest here, because we can't work with every brand that wants to work with us, and we have a specific budgets, which majority of Amazon sellers can. So I always tell this to Amazon sellers: instead of trying to invest all this money in trying to work with influencers, become the influencer. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a great point. That's a great point, because we've tried to work with a lot of influencers that never even read our messages at all, even though we're like, oh my gosh, I know that they're gonna love this product, but they have so many requests, to the point where we started creating content, and then people like influencers started contacting us to have their product to like display even for free. So just become that channel, create your own success, and people will notice for sure.
Yeah, it's just so much easier, because think about it, right? Like I work with big brands because they usually have a budget, right? Like right now, a native sponsor content on my website is $4,000. That is not something that a lot of Amazon sellers can pay for just one piece of content on a website, which I get it, right? So instead of spending that money or trying to reach out without getting any answers, which is going to happen. It's not that we don't want to answer, but imagine getting 100 messages from,
of course,
same, it just gets crazy. So I would say just become the influencer. That's how people will actually follow you and will want to work with you and collaborate with you and do different things. I if anything, I would spend my time doing that. This is an example that I wanted to give. I want one of our articles. And this is kind of how we monetize. So for example, white elephant gift ideas. This by no means is ranking really high, but what is so great about Google is that when you create a very in-depth piece of content, you might not rank for like that keyword that you were going for, but Google will reward you with traffic. Okay, because the content is so in-depth and it can rank for multiple keywords. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes, and I've seen this is a mistake a lot of like bloggers make, or just people that are trying to tap into the space, they think that they need to like, oh my god, I'm like laser focused to rank for my top keyword. If I don't rank for my top keyword, I don't know, something's going to happen, right? No, what you want is to rank for multiple keywords, because that's how you create a huge amount of traffic to your website. Like I have one piece of content on my website that is receiving about 40,000 visitors per month. It's just one piece of content. That's crazy to think about.
I can't imagine how hard it was to rank for white elephant gifts.
Yeah.
Right? During the Christmas season.
very, very hard. But even then, look at that, how many shares it got, you know what I mean? Like, so it is
Yeah.
possible when you produce good content, it's possible. And then not only that, Google will also reward you. Okay, you might not rank for the top keyword, but you will rank for so many variations of that keyword, and they add up and they create
Yeah.
massive traffic to your website. So don't be just laser focused. Oh, if I don't rank for the top keyword, I'm not going to be able to rank. No, that's not true. It's all about providing value. Like, this one is a very in-depth piece. Like, what is an elephant gift? What are the rules? What does the white elephant symbolize? The best white elephant gift ideas? You know, it's like a complete guide about
Yeah.
everything related. And I can just go down for hours. We also create a video for this. I can go down for hours on this because it's a really long piece.
Yeah.
It's probably like 10,000 plus words. But yeah, but this is what Google wants to see. Okay, it obviously is not always going to be the case, but white elephant gift ideas, it's a hard keyword to rank for, but we made it work. You just have to be creative, and that's really the key here. So this is what we've been talking about, you know, like blogging. So this is really what blogging can do for your business, right? First of all, it can, let me just move this. Why is that allowing me? It can increase, obviously, your brand awareness and your credibility. It can build an organic, loyal fan base that you can monetize. And I want to just emphasize this because sometimes this is what I've noticed about a lot of people that get into this space. They don't see the big picture. They're just thinking too small. If you're just thinking, oh, I'm going to create a blog in order to drive traffic, that's great that you want to drive traffic to your listing, and I'm sure your listing, your Amazon listing will get more sales. But that's just one way, you know, like building a loyal fan base, meaning through content, because you produce good content and therefore people want to keep consuming your content. You can create a very, very powerful list, a very powerful loyal fan base. Imagine having 50,000 people in your email newsletter because of the valuable content that you provide. Like, that is powerful in itself. I always told this to people. Social media can change the algorithm tomorrow. Amazon can change its algorithm tomorrow. Even Google can change. All these things can go away. Something that will never go away is your email list. And when you have a blog, it's so easy to get people to your list because of the value that you provide. Email marketing, it's so powerful when you have a blog. Like the Blend TW newsletter, we have about right now 150,000 subscribers, and that's super crazy. Just last year we got like 50,000 subscribers. Like getting your first, I think 50,000 subscribers is the hardest, and after that, like, it's just, you know, it's like a domino effect so fast. So imagine what that can do when you want to release a product, right? These are people that know you.
Definitely.
Know your brand.
That is the best way to launch a new product, is tapping into your existing audience that is already interested in your other products. And that's why it's important to choose a niche well.
Yes, very important to choose a niche well, and it will generate so many streams of income, right? Like at Network, we're talking about affiliate marketing. And I'm going to talk about one, which people, I don't realize how lucrative is actually to sell blogs just by itself as an asset. But obviously 3 is just getting consistent warm leads, right? You're not using pay ads. You're not using social media. This is directly from Google, and Google is the largest search engine. Period. There's no debate. It's not Facebook. It's not Instagram. It's Google. So
it's not Bing.
No, so that's super, super important. Okay, and obviously creating a blog with rich content allows you to, and I think we talked about this at Thrive Mediavine. If you guys are not familiar, go Google it. These are amazing ad networks that every blogger dreams to be part of. And the great thing about these networks is that once you get in, which is the hardest part, everything becomes so much easier. It's like basically all your hard work paid off. That's the way you see it.
So that's the goal. That's what we need to put on our vision boards or whatever.
Yes, absolutely. It's passive income. You're sleeping, you're making money. It's Sunday, you're making money, right? It's so nice to do that. Like on Amazon is kind of passive, but you have to run ads and do stuff. I don't know how passive that is, but this one is like I didn't do anything to my blog because I was focused on my other businesses for 6 months and I was still making money throughout. So you know what I mean? Like that idea that
Yeah,
once you
that
made
is
it,
awesome.
kind of slow down and just kind of do your thing. So blogging is really cool. And then this is, for example, directly from my AppThrive panel. This is how much we made last year on December. Well, 2 years ago now, 2023. 2021, we made 6,392. This is just ads, okay? Our RPM was 28.23, which is basically how much you're getting paid per 100 page views. Yeah, passive income.
Wow. Yes, for 1 month. I'll take it.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then yeah, so as we talked about, SEO content marketing is honestly the most sustainable marketing strategy in the long-term period. I honestly had so many conversations with people in the marketing space and different spaces, but Google is, it ranks all of them because it's so big and so powerful. And then obviously also one of the best way to generate some consistent warm leads. Now, creating a profitable blog does not just happen by writing content. We were very clear about this, about publishing. It's much more than that. And I want to share with you the main reasons why people fail, okay? These are the top 3 reasons that I've seen that businesses fail in building profitable blogs that can organically generate consistent leads. First, they have no clue how SEO research works. They just don't. They think they do. And I'm just going to tell you this. What are you
keyword stuffing and all the like repeating the same thing over and over?
No. But I think more importantly is that you have 2 options here. You either become the expert or you hire someone else to do it. And by expert is not just reading a bunch of articles on Google about SEO. Think about it. The people that are making thousands or if not millions of dollars from SEO, it's kind of the same as Amazon, right? They're not putting the content for free on YouTube. I mean, barely. They're at least charging something. So make sure you take a course. You got to invest in your knowledge. It's so important. The second one is like they obviously failed to create an SEO content strategy for their blog, and that allows them to publish content consistently, which is like key to rank on Google, right?
Yeah, because it's so easy to burn out.
Yeah, and thirdly, just not focus on producing EAT content. And EAT content, I want to mention, it stands for, these are, by the way, the tools that we're talking about, Oversuggest, Keysert, Ahrefs. They're great.
Awesome.
Again, not enough to just look for keywords here. Okay, they're great though. They're a great indicator. Now, what is EAT content? EAT stands for expertise, authority, basically, and trustworthiness, right? Google is focused on providing value to readers. It's all about value. Yes. So they would only provide traffic to blogs that are focused on creating EAT content. It doesn't matter if you pick the right niche, if you have the right keywords, if your content is bad, you're not going to rank, period. Okay. So focusing on writing content that is good. It's also extremely important. Like I said, whether you outsource it or you have your own writers, like you just got to make sure that the content is good. Now, I want to mention this because this is very important. Blogs are very lucrative on their own, okay? Let's say tomorrow, okay, you've been building this amazing blog over 1 year, you've made money, it qualified to Mediavine, and now you're kind of tired of it, and you're like, okay, I want to get rid of it because I have too much on my plate, or I just want to do something else with my life. Well, let me tell you one thing. Whatever it is that your blog is making, you multiply by 36, and that is how much you basically will I guess that will be the profitability of the blog. You will be able to sell it for that specific price. So it
truly is an asset that you're building
by itself. It's either monthly income multiplied by 36, although I've seen valuations all the way to 42 months and people actually buying it, or looking at your yearly income and multiply it by 3, right? And I just want to mention that there is this great website. It's called Empire Flippers. And you guys can see so many websites that are sold every day. It's crazy. And some of these websites are really expensive. So yeah, that's the potential. You get tired of your blog, you can sell it for 100K. I don't know, right? It's, why not? If you built a nice blog over a couple years and you want to get rid of it, then you can just sell your asset. Look at this one. Food beverages. monetization, just display advertising. They're selling it for more than $500,000.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So let me just, yeah. So this is just getting
Yeah.
an idea of
You've, I do think you've convinced us at this point.
yes. So no, it's honestly no brainer. So I just tell people, like, I think it's such a good way to invest your money. And then now you have choices. You can become an expert, or you can do it on your own. We run an agency, Blend TW Media, and we basically help entrepreneurs launch six-figure blogs. We do all the content strategy. We have different packages, which I'm going to send you the link and you can take a look over them. We only want to work with people that are committed to creating a blog. I'm not going to go through all of this. This is something you guys can look at it on your own time, but we do offer SEO website audit, which is basically choosing the right niche, the content strategy, depending on the package. I always say, if you're all in, you should go VIP, because that's the package that we basically put you in a road so you can get into media buying and ad thrive. And that's exactly what we want.
And after you see some of the numbers that you showed us, it's absolutely, like, it totally makes sense looking at this as an investment. I mean, it is an investment for an asset. You can do it your own way. Like you said, you can become an expert. You can do everything from the ground up. You can partner with Blend TW. And we do have a discount code as well for our followers, and that's the code Hobart. I'll be sure to leave all of these links, the link to the website as well, in the description below. But make sure that you mention that although you can just partner with them that easily, you do have to go through a discovery call where you and Cielo and the team will see if you're a correct match. But I'm so thankful that you have shared this step-by-step process here with us. Like, we have all the tools that we need, honestly, to make this work. And I'm super excited. There are so many ways. That's what blows my mind all the time. Sumner and I were like, man, there's so many ideas, so many ways to make money, so many ways to create your own success. And I'm super thankful to have you here sharing that with us, Cielo.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, guys, we do have a free consultation, and I want to be clear. If you want to work with us today, tomorrow, it doesn't matter. You got to make sure to book for a free consultation. We only want to work with clients, even if it's the 2K package or whatever it is that you choose, that are committed to this, because this will transform your life. We are absolutely sure of that. But at the same time, we want to make sure
you have to do it right.
Yeah. So make sure you book that free consultation. Whoever comes through this webinar is going to get a 10% discount on the services that we provide. And yeah, I look forward to talk to you more about your aspiration and your goals with your business, right?
Yes. And if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comments below. Both Sumner and I will be checking the questions, as well as Cielo, to answer any of your questions. And if you want to connect with Cielo, here's all of her accounts as well. And you can follow her on social media. There is going to be the website. Everything's going to be in the description below as well. And I hope that you found this video helpful. And if you did, be sure to also watch this video that I'm going to be linking right here. And as always, thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thank you so much, Cielo.
Bye.